Well, hello and welcome to Material Mondays. Today we are going to be working on this piece. One of the things that I really want to do during these times, I've shown you, the kind of materials that I've used to create some of the pieces, and now it's looking at how I put these pieces together. And if there's something in here that I haven't shown you, like I might at one point show you how I do my dyeing, like I've dyed this piece, how would I go about doing that, but that will be in other videos that we'll look at. And at some point as well I'm going to be doing a fabric course which takes you through some of the steps that I use and creating pieces that not necessarily look like this, but incorporate, having the dyed piece of fabric itself and then using other elements that you may have painted and stitched on, and other fabrics that you might have used. So I'm not sure I'll be able to finish this in one sitting. It's nearing the completion stage, and I've got quite a few that are nearing the completion stage, so you'll be able to see those over the Material Monday episodes. So okay, this was a piece of cotton, and it's the same cotton that I used. This is my travel kit. I need to create myself a nice little bag that I can put everything in. So this is the same kind of cotton, and I put words on. And actually, as I take it out, I'm not sure whether I'll put any words, cut some of these words out and stitch them. I'm not sure it needs that. So it's a heavy piece of cotton, and I've tried the shibori technique. And yeah, this is how it came out. It was a kind of blue of sorts, and this is how it dyed. There was part of the fabric that got most of the dye, and for some reason the other half didn't. Anyway, so the other elements I've got on here is fabric that has been painted, and then I've machine stitched them to the fabric. I've already started adding some beading down here. So I've got 6 elements here, and then I've got a piece of dyed, it's been dyed with plant dye, and it's the Clitora tenatia plant. It's a blue flower. And so I'll show you a picture of the blue flower, and you can get some really nice effects with it. You can use it as a dye, you can use it as ink on paper, and with the dye I think you're probably going to have to use a mordant for the plant. I'm still learning about dyeing with using fabric and natural materials. Because I find over time they fade, but obviously there's something that I'm missing. Anyway, so other fabric, African material, and then just other little bits. So, and I've done some hand stitching all over, but I still feel it needs something else, and I'm thinking yellow, some more yellow thread. And so I'm just going to add it in places that is speaking to me and just work on it like that. So the other thing I want to do, that you'll see me do, is I've got some beads, and I'm going to incorporate some of these yellow beads here, maybe some of the white ones. I found a brooch, well it's part of a necklace that I brought, and some more beads here, but this is very similar to the colour of the fabric, and I'm thinking it's just going to go really well in this centerpiece, so I'm going to add that, but also incorporate some beading along here. So whether I take some of the blue beads that pick up the colours in here, or pick up the colours of the thread. I've got these blue beads that I could potentially use. Shall I come in? So you can actually see how nice this, oops, sorry. Okay, so this is the blue bead, but look at these ones. They pick up some of the blue in the fabric. So I'm thinking of maybe using them along this stretch, which is 4 different types of jean material that have been layered. Maybe use those ones, but they're a bit more bulkier than I want. These ones are nice and well, they're still kind of raised, but I think it needs to be a colour that corresponds with this. These can go maybe elsewhere, but I'll have to see in my stash whether I have got any beads. There's none here. Actually, look, maybe these ones. This is a blue. We'll see. We'll see anyway. We'll see how it goes. But there needs to be additional beads. I'll see what I have, or I'll think about what other colours it can be. It could be the white that I use along here, white beads. But as I said, we'll see how things container is broken. I just have to be careful because the thought of having all these beads scattered on the floor is the last thing that I want. Anyway, so I'm going to get started, and if something comes to mind, I'll stop and either voice over or stop and take you through it. But I'm just going to enjoy spending time on this piece, and as I say, I'm not going to rush it, so whether in this episode we finish it or whether it's the next episode, we'll see, because this is all about, you know, the slow stitching and enjoying the steps. And sometimes you'll see it in, you know, fast motion, but it's to understand that when you're actually sitting down with a piece, you know, you're actually taking your time. Anyway, so I've got my needle threaded. I'm using embroidery thread, and it comes like this. Each thread has 6 strands, and I use 1 strand and then double it. Okay, so let me see where I want to start. It's really kind of a thing that you just, you know, just sit with the piece and see what needs to not only be done, but what piece is speaking to you. Okay, so these down here are speaking to me, so I'm going to start here. So I've just used a straight stitch, and I've just created patterns with the stitch. So we're just going to continue and see how we get on. Okay, so I'll come in for you so you get an idea. And with these ones, I don't use an embroidery hoop. done like a little border here, and I'm thinking that the way that the piece is gonna hang is maybe this way. This band bit comes like halfway, not halfway, let's see where halfway would be. So halfway would actually be here, so it would have moved down. But so knowing that, I would then think about the placement of additional things. So I like the border, and when I'm stitching, you know, it's not always, doesn't always, in your mind you want it to be perfect, so you think, oh, you know, I can't do this or I don't want to do that, but you're the one who's deciding what it looks like, yeah, so it's as you want. I do want to start, I'm itching to add beads because I haven't done any beading for quite a while, so I'm itching to maybe start that. And I'm thinking of maybe putting the big bead on, like so, or should it go that way now? So this would normally be a necklace. You could make a necklace out of this. It's very pretty. Anyway, so yeah, no, I'm thinking that way. And I'm going to be doing beads here, and I might even be doing some beads down here. We'll see. Anyway, so I'm thinking I'm going to use the yellow, again, thread, and I was contemplating whether to use either a blue or a yellow, but what I'm thinking now, oh, I've got these yellow beads, oh, maybe, I've got four, I've only got three. Yeah, there's only three. Okay, so we'll use one at either side like that. We'll save that, and then we'll use some of these yellow beads either side. So that's how, this is one of the ways in which I would start adding the beading. I would lay down a few first, and then work my way along the piece. So I want a string of yellow beads along here. So what I might do is start at this end, come up to here, and then work with this. I also want some yellow beads around here and around here. That's what I'm feeling. And then I may put some white beads on. When I do frame it, I'm not sure whether I'll put it in a glass frame. A glass frame protects it, or whether I want to do a backing and it be hung up like a wall hanging. Okay, so I take the strand away, and it's best to get, you know, embroidery thread, because if you get any other thread, you're not guaranteed that it's going to be as strong as the embroidery thread, which I've done before. I thought, oh, I've got some really beautiful colours, and then the thread isn't, once you've taken a strand off, it's not very strong. Right, the way I do it is I just thread these beads on, and then I will come back and attach them to the piece. Now I'm using a different needle from the one I'd selected when I was going to work with these, so not all the beads are going through, and that does take away from the time it takes to do that. So, but let's just get an idea of what we're doing. Okay, so I'm going to go along here with the beads until we get to this point. I was thinking that maybe I could add some white, like so. We'll see. Right, I'm just going to continue and try and get as many of the beads that would just go on, and then I'll just change needles. As I say, these are not seed beads, but some of them come up small. So what I've done so far is stitch around the edge and do the beading there. It was quite hard to go through so many pieces of the jeans material, and I am aware that this is slightly higher than this, but again, it's just like, I'm not worried about it. I'm thinking of also doing some beading here. Maybe just yellow beads rather than the yellow and the white. So let's try that. Sun's coming out a bit, so it might get a little bit, as the sun is heading in front of me, it's going to get a little bit glary, so I might have to finish off next week. I'll do some bits during the week and then we will, well, I'm saying finish off, I'm not even sure whether, because I haven't decided what actually to put it in terms of frame or backing, then that's going to take me a bit longer. So I'm going to try some beading along here first and see how it feels. So just along there. Right, okay, so I think that's it for today. I think these pieces are not pieces that you can rush, and as I said, it's going to take a few weeks for me to, you know, spend the time to actually get it to where I want it to get to and incorporate all the elements. I do like the beading and I do like the different colours, and just kind of alternating them is nice. And I'm just going to give you a closer look.